All right, he said a lot there. Now, Booger McFarland here with us for this debate. Key, let's start with you here. This ex-GM, he had a lot to say. What's one word to describe these comments?
Planted. It's a planted story by somebody. And look, Boog, having played in the NFL and been in locker rooms, everybody's not going to like you. There's 70 guys, including practice squad guys, that are in the locker room. So somebody's not going to like Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers flies private, or Aaron Rodgers doesn't really speak to him, or Aaron Rodgers has a girlfriend that's a famous girl, or it's going to always be the case. And it's always a locker room lawyer type that is a coach's pet that's going to say something, somebody who runs to the media. That's just the way it is. But I promise you, more people inside that damn locker room like Aaron Rodgers more than the guy who planted the story. Promise you that.
Okay. Han?
Well, the one word that I would use to describe is incendiary. This is stage 3 of the smear campaign. Remember how it began. It began with basically how, well, we're not idiots. Are you sure? Are you sure? Because of how you're fat-handing this whole situation. Mark Murphy has a column on Packers.com, and we found that out. Why? Why not? Talk to the fans. Okay, great. Have a question that has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers. Turn it into an answer about Aaron Rodgers and how he's dividing the fan base. See the stages continuing to build. Let's get that campaign going. Then it becomes how he's a complicated fella. Let's bring back a quote from the late Ted Thompson. Let's bring that into the conversation too. Complicated fella. Let's laugh about it, chuckle about it, go there. And now the next stage is now we plant. We get somebody in there that puts it out there without putting a name on it to ratchet it up a little bit. Incendiary. To light the flame, to turn it on. And that's exactly what this happened. Coaches and teammates don't like you, that you're selfish. Sounds like they're calling Aaron Rodgers a diva. Well, he's a quarterback. Of course he is.
Booger?
I love it. Leave it to Alan Hahn to come up with these very difficult words for America to follow this morning. I'm just going to call it what it is and call it irrelevant because nobody really cares. Understand this. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He's the quarterback of America's team up in that part of the country, the Green Bay Packers. And right now, if the Green Bay Packers want to win next year and want to win at a high level, Aaron Rodgers needs to be the quarterback. I don't care who likes me in the locker room. I don't care whether you like what I do. I don't care whether you like what I eat. The bottom line, when Aaron Rodgers steps behind center, as Stephen A. would say, he is a bad man. And when you're that bad of a man, you don't have to like me, but you got to respect me because I'm one of the best doing it at my craft. And so, you know, the locker room is a fickle place. Any day of the week, anybody can like anybody. The bottom line is you got to respect everybody in there because they're one of the best in America at doing a certain job. And I think the Packers, the Green Bay Packers organization, even someone like Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst, who are at odds with Aaron Rodgers, they respect what he does. So I'm going to call it what it is and just say irrelevant. Nobody really cares. We all know what kind of talent Aaron Rodgers is. And come on, Alan Hahn. Come on, man. Come up with something a little bit simpler for America to follow. Keyshawn said planted. I went with irrelevant. You went with incendiary, whatever the word is. Give America something easy to follow on a Thursday morning.
Look, I think
Flamethrower.
I think, Boog, you know, again, you've been in the locker room, so you kind of know exactly what happens. Everybody doesn't like you. I've been on a number of teams. People didn't like me. Okay, so what? But I guarantee you, they respected my ability and they respected who I was as a human being. They can go behind closed doors and have issue with their little friends and talk in their corner or go to restaurants and have conversations with fans. But I promise you, the respect level, it was there. And the respect level was there for Aaron Rodgers. They certainly know they're a better team with Aaron Rodgers than without Aaron Rodgers. They seen the team with Deshaun Kaiser at quarterback, or Brett Hundley at quarterback. They see what practice look like right now with Jordan Love, as well as Blake Bortles. So don't, like Booker say, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a planted story to get everybody riled up. So when Aaron Rodgers finally says, in about a month and a half, I am done with the Green Bay Packers, move me, rather than with a third party saying it, everybody will say, okay.
Okay, that's a solid point. So where do you believe that Rodgers will be taking his first snap in the upcoming season?
Ooh, now, That's another question.
It is.
Woo.
Oh, say it.
I would
You
think,
know.
I would think it would be the Denver Broncos. I think it's the Denver Broncos. I think the Denver Broncos are going to make a serious play to get Aaron Rodgers. Now, whether or not Green Bay decides to do it or they make a decision to try to be, petty and hold on to him, much like Cincinnati did with Carson Palmer, maybe they do that. Maybe they try and take some of the money back, which I don't think will be that big of a deal with Aaron Rodgers if he sits out and they want the money back because he'll eventually get it from the next team. He'll play in the NFL again. It just will not be with the Green Bay Packers.
Look, I got a question for you. I want to know, because as I said, this is like building a campaign. Key loves when I'm the reporter. I'm going to be the reporter. Go back in my days when I had the ink stained, wretches all around me in my notepad. Because this
You look like a reporter right now, too, by the way, FYI.
Did I need that? I didn't need that. Okay, thank you, though. But this is manna from heaven because it's mini camp. Like, what are we covering? We're covering, guys in shorts and whether or not somebody's thrown into the garbage can. But this is a story that allows me to be on the back page. Why? Because people care about it. Now, the planted story was, coaches don't like them, players don't like them, but they just put up with them. Guess where I'm going next, Boog? Where am I going next now that this story came out? I'm in the locker room now. Now I'm asking you guys. Oh, wait, this story says you guys don't like them. I need some of the Packers players. We've had a couple. Devontae came out, right? Bakhtiari came out, but not a lot of guys spoke about it. I want to know, when did the players start putting the fire out? As I said, incendiary. When did they start putting the fire out about Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I think the next time we talk to some of the players is going to be training camp. And then what will happen is the media will want to see, do the players get agitated? Do the players get bothered by having to answer so many questions? Do they become annoyed? And to Key's point, Key, I'm glad you brought this up. Listen, Keyshawn was a California guy, was in New York, came to Tampa. Key is right. A lot of people in Tampa didn't like Key when he got there because they thought he was Hollywood. But you know what Keyshawn did? When you threw him the ball, Keyshawn caught the ball. He was dependable. He was a big play guy. Now, we didn't like some of the unnecessary stuff, showing up to practice with the Rolls Royce, Hollywood. Like, we didn't like, as soon as Keyshawn got to town, within the first month, Keyshawn not only was a diva, he had opened a restaurant. We're like, who the hell is this guy coming from New York trying to take over Tampa? But you know what he did? On the football field, he produced, and that's all that mattered in the locker room. So, Key, you're right. You're a living proof. You're living proof that you can go to an organization and not be liked, but as long as you produce, people will respect you, and that's the ultimate thing in the NFL locker room: respect.
Okay, well, if I'm one of these players getting asked a question by you, Han, in the locker room, I'm probably going to be answering in a positive manner as it pertains to Rodgers, because I would much rather be playing with Rodgers than Jordan Love, because, look, everyone wants to win a championship. Aaron Rodgers is your best bet as far as that goes.
Hey, Boog, it was a Bentley, not a Rolls. Know your cars, man.
Come on now.
Right. Hey, listen, that was the first car. I'm talking about the second car.
A whole garage full of them. All right, hey, Booger, thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right, let's wrap it up there, guys, because we still have a lot more to get to. Ben Simmons riding a roller coaster.